All right, another video book review. This one is for The 620 Man by David Baldacci. It's a crime thriller, something like that. Again, coming to you from North Carolina right after the Storm Helene. Tropical storm, Hurricane Helene, one of them, right? Really knocked out all our power. Power's out right now, so I'm just giving my review of some books I read during it. Well, I'm out of power. Anywho, 620 Man, David Baldacci. I'd say it is a good, bordering on very good crime, murder, mystery, thriller thing. The main character, it's set in New York. Main character is a former ranger, former really top Army Ranger officer, right? And he left after, let's say, a decade around there of service, great service from everything we know, from what we're told, and he's left it for the Wall Street world, Wall Street in New York. So it's a big shift. He's 6 months on the job. He just got his MBA from, I forget where, but he got it. And yeah, he's struggling in a Wall Street firm, trying to survive the cuts. Geez, my hair needs cutting, but those places are not open. Anywho, he's working at this place for 6 months. He's made a few connections, knows a few people, and, you know, he likes a few of them. And then a woman that he knows who works at the firm dies. She commits suicide, as you'd think, from the initial reporting. And then the circumstances around her suicide kind of get a little hazy and leaves him to go down a rabbit hole that has many twists and turns, so many twists and turns. And I think every chapter is like 5 minutes maybe long of actual reading time. There's like twists and turns every single chapter. At least there's new things being introduced. He's constantly going places. The 620 Man, the 620 is the train that he goes on for he gets on the train at 620 and goes right into New York. So that's where that 620 is. But it seems like everything that he does, as most great novels and great movies, as well as just great stories, everything ties together. Everything matters. So you want to pay attention to everything that happens, even when he's looking out the window on his train and sees one of the many things he sees is a beautiful big house with a beautiful lady swimming on it. Everyone's looking at her, right? Like even that woman, that house, that train is important. Everything is important in a lot of good ways. And I really enjoyed that. It was a book that I've been in a little bit of a slump with fantasy. I think I get those times every now and again where I'm reading fantasy and when I read something, I roll my eyes and I'm like, oh my gosh, been there, done that kind of thing. And that tells me, as soon as that happens, that tells me, all right, time to jump ship, get to something else. And I found that in thrillers, in crime thrillers, and that's what I've been reading. And this one is a cut above most, not above the rest, but a cut above most, right? And I really enjoyed it. The only stuff that I would be hesitant about is I haven't seen when it was written, but I think it was written in the last year or two at least, because it mentions COVID. It's got, everything. It's set in the modern day, but it also, this is what I didn't like, it brought about like contentious political and moral issues of the day, like a lot of religious stuff, abortion issues, things like that, that I just did not like seeing in a book. That I can read it, right? But I don't like it written in the book when it's treated not with care. I don't need you to like soft touch it as an author, but I need it to be at least dealt with the care or with the complexity that it deserves. And I didn't feel like when they came up in this book, that they were dealt with that way. It felt more like instead of a surgeon's hand, it was a fry cook's hands in which they were dealt. And you kind of just were like, okay, I get now. I see one side. This is how the author in real life feels. Got it. The author bled into this book here. Great. Let's move past it. And it's not something that's gonna stop you from reading. It certainly didn't stop me from reading, but it will take you out of the book, which is it did for me. But other than that, it was a solid book. Maybe it went on a bit too long at the end there. You're kind of revisiting the same places over and over, but No, it was a satisfying conclusion, satisfying ride. But again, no eloquence with the writing. Gosh, my hair is just not going the way it should. But anyways, no elegance with the writing. Nothing like that. So the writing is nothing to write home about. It was snappy, got you to where you needed to be, and got you the information you needed. So that's really all that it looked like he set out to complete, and he did it. And then those kind of moments that took me out, I give it a 7.7 of a read, and on to the next one. On to the next one.